You know, I made a video recently that I decided not to post because it was kind of negative. You know, it was like me saying, you're not possibly going to be able to get monetized. It's not going to happen. Yo, let's talk about this real quick. Being a YouTuber, making money on YouTube, being successful on YouTube, having enough, followers, subscribers, getting enough likes, all the engagement, all the stuff, getting, people supporting you with regards to giving you gear, giving you money, all that kind of stuff. Let's talk about it because a lot of it is completely out of reach. It's not going to happen. And then, it spun it into kind of a positive video where, YouTube is a place that is actually an opportunity for us. It's a website that you don't have to pay for, where you can upload your stuff and you can work things out. You can kind of work on your craft. If you can't get monetized, if you're having problems, if you're frustrated, stop for a second and think like, yo, you are pretty privileged to have. We are all privileged to have this opportunity to make these videos and put them on the internet for free. Free, yo. And to learn for free. Like, go to all these channels, you will learn a lot for free. Don't take that for granted. That's incredible. So it works both ways. You can consume stuff for free and you can contribute for free. But I know that my intention to shoot that video was actually more negative than positive, if I'm being really honest, because sometimes I get frustrated, like, how am I going to get monetized? I watch all these videos and I see people who are monetized, who got their 1,000 subscribers, but then also had to get their 4,000 watch hours, and I'm pretty close to both, actually. But I don't know, I've been doing this for a long time now, and there's just something inside of me that doesn't actually believe it's going to happen. I'm going to get monetized, and I'm going to eventually be able to earn some extra money doing this, and maybe I'll be able to make enough money to not have to worry about anything else. Maybe YouTube will pay my bills, and I don't have to worry about getting booked in a theater or licensing my films or whatever, or doing side gig work or whatever. It's probably not going to happen. I'm talking to 99% of the people watching this, including myself. Over the last couple of weeks, well, actually, you know what? Over the last couple of years, I've been kind of studying this, right? Because I've been trying to do this. But over the last couple of weeks, I did like a deep dive. And I found so many channels that were so well done, so well run, like really high level filmmaking, storytelling, everything, with, minimal amounts of subscribers, definitely not being monetized, all of that, And I just felt like it was important to share a video like that because I really do believe that for 99% of the people who are trying to get monetized, it's not going to happen. You're not going to get monetized. But I think there's a helicopter, so I don't know if you can hear that or not. But, for most of those people, for most of that 99% who's not going to get monetized, it's going to be because you quit, because you give up, because you just stop doing it. Like anything else, it's desire, determination, dedication, commitment, all of that. All the hard work. You have to decide what you want to do. And no matter what you plan on doing, you should be working hard at learning your craft every single day. And good things will happen. I don't know what they're going to look like. I don't know how it's going to manifest itself. But I guarantee you, if you work hard at stuff, great things will happen. You might become the best possible artist that you could become. You might get rich off of YouTube. I don't know how it's going to happen. I just know that you're going to get better. And I pretty much guarantee you, you're going to feel good about it. Like, I am somebody who's obsessed with learning and practicing and getting better. Like, that's what I'm made of. That's who I am. I'm talking about the work. I'm not talking about, being the most popular, being a celebrity, getting the most views, getting the most likes. I'm talking about actually doing the work. Because eventually, you will probably get monetized unless it's a complete conspiracy theory and it's not real, and that's not the case. Like, I don't believe that. I think plenty of people get monetized, plenty of people are making money, lots of people are earning their living. There's not some magical, conspiracy formula that people are not sharing with us. It's just kind of random, I think, and it's just about time. Like, I don't know how it works, I actually saw somebody the other day who gave me advice about YouTube once, who finally got past the threshold, was getting paid, getting checks, and he's like talking about his channel is dying and all this kind of stuff. And it's about patience, and it's about, as one YouTuber put it, I watched the video this morning and she said it's stick-to-itiveness, that kind of persistence and incessant desire and determination and dedication and commitment to doing something that you want to do and that you want to accomplish. But this whole thing about being a full-time YouTuber, like I see so many YouTubers like, trying to earn a living doing this. And I felt like it was necessary for me to come on here and say, it's not going to happen. You're not going to be able to make money doing YouTube. It's a complete illusion for most people. And so it shouldn't be surprising to anybody who knows me that if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to learn it. And I'm going to wind up being good at it, And I'm certainly not going to be afraid of it. But the thing that makes me sad, and the thing that I want to share with you, and I think the thing that's relevant for YouTube as well, is that sometimes when you do stick to it, and sometimes when you don't quit, and when you have that like undying determination, that thing that nothing can stop you and nobody can stop you, you are probably going to lose a lot of friends along the way. There's a lot of cost to that. There's a lot of sacrifice involved. It's going to hurt your relationships. It's going to, maybe change plans of your life. You're not going to be moving in the same way that you might have thought you were going to move as the years go by. And that's something that you're going to have to live with. And sometimes you will actually accomplish a goal that you set out to accomplish years ago and find that when you get there, you're there all by yourself. Learn your fundamentals. Like I said, and I'll repeat it, learn your lighting. Learn all your settings in the camera. Learn your photography settings, your filmmaking settings, Learn about shutter angle. Learn about 24 frames per second. Learn about all of it. Learn how to manually focus. Don't just rely on AI. Don't do that. Really learn. Learn about sound. Learn about setting up your composition. Learn about that. Learn about the frame, looking at every single pixel of that frame. And then throw it all away, like master it. Learn that camera. Make videos, look at yourself, and then continue to grow and take the opportunity. And so I am going to share a lot of that video that I put together. I'm not going to share all of it, just because a lot of it was just blabbering. It's like I saw Gerald Undone the other day doing this kind of, I don't know if it was like a parody on Allen Iverson. You know the Allen Iverson press conference a long time ago where he was like, practice? Really? We talking about practice? Like, because, Larry Brown, the coach of the Philadelphia 76ers, was upset because Iverson wasn't showing up to practice. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it doesn't really matter. Because if you know who Gerald Undone is, you know what I'm talking about. Like, he was talking about cameras. We're talking about cameras. We're just talking about camera. We're not talking about world peace or world hunger. We're not, solving any kind of real human issues, war. We're not doing any of that. But I'm also here to tell you that there's always going to be new people around you. And you have to continue to stay open and to keep your humanity, and don't just be about your work. That's one of the mistakes that I've made over the years, is just being all about my work, And it's cost me a lot, and I've lost a lot, but it's never too late to learn. And, now I'm seeing all kinds of new people come into my life, and this filmmaking thing that's come into my life that has, really been, like, I've won a bunch of awards already with my filmmaking. I just finished a film that won a Best Feature Film at the Manhattan Film Festival, which is a great festival with filmmakers from all over the world. And I saw so many great works of art, So now here I am, full circle, talking about this YouTube thing. I am not a stupid man. I'm not stupid. So you would think, if this was an easy road, I would be earning a living doing this along with my theater work and my filmmaking and, my real work. Because And maybe that's the problem. You know, maybe I will never look at this as real work. Maybe that's the problem. However, having said that, it ain't all that deep. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody earning a living on YouTube is an internet genius, is an SEO genius. Like, nobody, you know? I mean, maybe they invested 50 grand into their channel to get all the gear, to get their studio set up, to hire people to do their SEO and all that kind of stuff. Like, maybe they did that. I don't know. But who's got that kind of money to invest into your channel? A lot of this is about just sticking with it, and it is all about what I was talking about. It really is about working on your craft. Like, the thing that you should be really focused on is not getting monetized, but being consistent and working to get better as a filmmaker or whatever niche that you're in. Because a lot of people, it really doesn't matter what their videos look like. Sometimes people are talking about getting organized in their life, or, you know, what they do from day to day because they're 90 years old, or, you know, somebody who's 13 years old and is hoping to become a YouTuber. Like, a lot of it is not in the filmmaking space. Like, in my case, it's good for me to say this is the Helios 44-2 lens. It's the original Panasonic S5. I'm using the Hollyland Lark Max for my sound. Those are good things for me to share because I know a lot of filmmakers or people interested in cameras come to this space. So one of my favorite YouTubers this morning was talking about, you know, the 5 best ways to, you know, do well on YouTube, to get your channel monetized. And basically what he said was, do you, be yourself, because nobody could be you better than you, you know? And now it's all about being organic and don't try to be put on, and learn how to talk to the camera and all that kind of stuff. Come on. I've been doing that from the beginning. That's not what it's about.
Oh my God, I remember your mother. You look exactly like your mother. Oh, I don't look like anybody. I mean, I am completely detached from this entire human race. I mean, that freaked me out. Like I look exactly like somebody. I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, I can't relate. And then this meeting started even more interesting. I mean, for example, I always thought that I was just like a mistake. You know, the 2 people hooked up, did that thing, girl got pregnant, then they just let me go. But evidently, that's not what happened. See, luckily for me, Miss Simons had kept some pretty extensive notes from her meetings with my biological mother. And so, along with my official paperwork, I was also able to get some more, like, you know, personal information. For example, one of the notes said that my mother told Miss Simons that, and I quote, "My son was born of pure love." Yeah, I was born of pure love.
But I think it's really the same for everybody when it comes to getting to the point where you're part of that YouTube partnership program. You know, you got to stick with it. And for some people, it takes 6 months or 3 months or 2 years. Some people, it takes 10 years. You know, like, some people, it takes a long time. In my case, I think my case is kind of interesting because I've had a YouTube channel for a long time. I mean, I'm a performing artist. So I originally used YouTube just to work things out, to be able to post stuff and watch it, you know, and look at it, because I didn't have a website at the time. So it was a place for me where I could, for free, post my stuff and study myself and get better as a performer and work, you know, it's been so good for me. And then as I started to move forward in my career as a performing artist, other people started, you know, posting stuff about me online, and that, it kind of changed my channel. Well, that had nothing to do with my channel, but I knew that I was out there and I was trying to navigate, you know, how do I control this? Like, what do I do about that? You know, like, I'm no longer in control of my own narrative, you know, which at first kind of bothered me. But then when I thought about it, I was like, you know what? I kind of like that, because, you know, YouTube is a place like social media where you can control what you look like, control, you know, what you put out there. You can control your whole life and make people think that you're living a certain kind of way that you're really not, you know. And that kind of bothers me, you know. So I thought to myself, wow, these people are putting pictures of me up all over the place and videos, and I can't control it, and I didn't look good in that one, and my shirt was too loose, and, you know, stuff like that. But then I thought, this is perfect for me, because I am like that kind of guy who likes to keep it real, likes to keep it organic. I'm not trying to bullshit about anything. And so I thought, you know, that's somebody else, you know, shooting a video about me that I can't control, and that's what I look like, and that's where I was, and that's what I was doing on that day, and that's the truth, you know. It's the most truth possible because I didn't do it.
How did you find it so easy to release me? Just amputated yourself from me completely. Just cut me off, created some kind of referred history. Did you feel anything when you were disconnected from me? Were you curious at all, or am I just some kind of discarded, disposable, faded memory? You know, I did live inside you for 9 months and you did birth me. Then you made this big fucking decision all by yourself to let it go, to give me away, and you never even told my father about me.
Title, thumbnail, all the stuff. I'm constantly trying to get better titles, better thumbnails, better tags, better SEO, keywords, all that kind of stuff. I'm doing Google search. I do all of that. I mean, when I have a video that gets suddenly 1,700 views, or 2,000 views, I think the most I ever had was like 2,500 or something like that. Like if I go back and try to model that video, it never does as well. It never does as well because it's been done. Like I did it. I think people come to my channel and sometimes they'll come to a video and they'll go, wow, that's incredible. They love it. But then when they come to the next video, they're like, wow, that was incredible, but that's just, he just did that. So there was that stage of YouTube for me. And then I started to take the channel more seriously. I was like, you know what? Maybe I can make some side money on this. You know, maybe I can create a channel where I can actually contribute to people because, you know, like I teach workshops, you know, I teach performance workshops and writing workshops. And I thought maybe I could do that on YouTube. People can get it for free, but I can make some money if I get enough subscribers and if I get enough watch hours. And so I started to do this, but it's been like over 4 years and I haven't been able to get monetized because I'm also the guy who is unwilling to play by the rules, you know, to do what you're supposed to do, to follow all these, you know, tutorials on how to make money on YouTube, because a lot of it, honestly, I'm not judging anybody, but a lot of it feels kind of stupid to me. You know, like I'm not the guy who's going to do these crazy thumbnails, you know, with these funny faces, and I'm just not doing that. You know, I try to make interesting thumbnails because I'm also a photographer. So I try to create nice still shots and I'll put some text up there so that people know what it's about. I'm not trying to do clickbait, you know. I do try to focus more on my titles now because why not? I'm trying to get monetized. So I do try to focus on that and do better. And that's what you're told to do, niche down. When people come to your channel, they're supposed to know what they expect. But I'm not there yet. And so I think every once in a while I get frustrated, and a lot of people get frustrated. And I think it's human nature to get frustrated. And then to start comparing yourself to other people and checking out what other people are doing and thinking you're better than them, or, you know, your channel's more worthy or whatever, just that hater bullshit. And I allow myself that every once in a while, even though, you know, it makes me feel ashamed and stupid and silly. But, you know, I'm human. I have feelings, you know, so every once in a while I'm like, yo, I'm busting my ass. I'm working hard at this. Why can't I get ahead? When in fact, I am getting ahead. What is it though that makes people be able to make money doing this and actually earn a living? And, you know, people talking about, like, you know, I heard once, and again, I don't want to mention too many names. I'm only going to mention names of people I'm lifting and saying positive things about. But I heard somebody once say, my goal was to make $50,000 this year and then $150,000 next year. And I'm like, what are you talking about? How do you make $150,000 from YouTube? How do you make $250 a month on YouTube? How do you do that? I don't know. You know, I'm over 950 subscribers, so I'm about to be at 1,000 very soon. And I don't have 4,000 watch hours, but I'll get there. You know, it'll happen. My videos are getting better and better. I mean, I'm a filmmaker, you know, I make actual narrative films. And so YouTube is like a whole different thing, you know. I really believe people are more interested in YouTube videos than narrative films, you know. And so it's like a separate craft to me. You know, it's a whole different thing. Like, it's not the same as making a movie. I mean, I'm trying to guide people to my movies, but YouTube is an art unto itself that I'm trying to figure out like anybody else. So I'm not saying it's impossible, and I'm not going to come up with all the conspiracy theories that have run through my head, but I am saying this. For most of you, for most of us, it ain't going to happen. So that's the good news, because the good news is that you have a camera. You either have your phone or you have a camera, and you have the desire to make films. Like even if you're just a photographer, if you're on YouTube, you're making movies. You're talking to the camera. You are making movies. I don't care if you're just a still photographer. You're on here talking to people, you're kind of making movies, you know? If you're Julia Trotti, who is a great still photographer, she's making movies, you know? Now, I don't know if she's hired people to help her with that. I don't know if her boyfriend does it. I don't know anything. But I do know that most people that I have come across have not figured out how to make a penny. They have, 347 subscribers or 800 or 1.5 thousand, like 1,500, something like that. But they ain't making any money to earn a living because one guy I've seen who's an incredible filmmaker, a guy in New York City, this guy, he drives a truck full time. To me, he's like a professional filmmaker. He does incredible, like beautiful work. I think there's value in all of this. And it's also, I think it's good for your character, It's good to check yourself when you start to become a hater towards other people and, start to compare yourself to other people's channels and start to wonder, why you are not necessarily getting what they're getting, Because that's never a healthy thing to do in any space, anywhere, at your job, in your family, with your friends. It's never a good space. The good news is use YouTube for what it is. It's a free website, a free place to upload your videos, a free place to get feedback from people, even if it's 12 people. It's a free place, and I'm going to go back to what one YouTuber said to me a long time ago. Don't worry about how many people are coming to your channel. Think about it like who's in the room with you. Like if you're in a room working out some stuff, if you're, like for me, if I'm doing a play reading, and if I have 12 people around me, or if I have 3 people around me, if we're talking about it, we're doing feedback and a Q&A, and they're letting me perform it in front of them, and I'm getting, they're like bouncing ideas off of me. That's a gift. That's incredible. Life ain't all about money. Like money, you need money, of course, to survive, to eat, and then to live the kind of lifestyle that you might want to live, If you have a family, you probably need more money than if you're just solitary like me. But, money is not the only thing. It's your happiness, it's your your existence. Like, who are you? What do you do? What are you doing with your life? How are you using this time that you have on earth, which is fleeting? You know what I mean? Like, it's not a long life, no matter whether you live to be 100 years old or 50 years old or 25 years old. You got to use your time wisely. You got to do what you want to do. You have to do that. Take this opportunity to learn how to deal with your lights. Take this opportunity to really learn about lenses, different focal lengths, different apertures, really learn about composition, 3D in the frame, how to really make the depth, bring your vision to life, you know what I mean? Bring your story to life. Learn about sound. I'm just here to tell you, use your time wisely. Stick with it, and when the thing is, when you really want something, stick with it. It'll happen. Now, I don't know how it's going to manifest, and I say this at the end of, I don't have to repeat myself, but you don't know how it's going to work out. You don't know. But one thing you do know is what you're doing. One thing you can control is your day-to-day, how you live your life. When you wake up in the morning, what do you do? What are you committed to? What is your workout like? How are you taking care of your body? What's your nutrition like? How much attention are you paying to the things that you want to get done? How much are you really honestly studying? Are you really getting better at what you want to do? Really? What an incredible opportunity. You could buy a Panasonic GH7 with every codec known to humankind, including ProRes RAW in the camera, for $2,200. You can get an S5 IIX for the same price, full frame. So you can get anywhere from micro four thirds to full frame. You can get a Sony FX30, which is APS-C, which is the closest thing to 35 millimeter, which is what most great films throughout history have been filmed at. You have your choice. Pick any of these cameras, but take this opportunity to practice, to learn lighting, sound, storytelling, exposition, denouement, the beginning of a story, the middle of a story, the ending of a story. Building, tension, conflict resolution. Take the opportunity to learn. Like, these are the things that, you have to decide. Or are you just, do you have a family? Do you have to take care of your kids and your wife or your husband or whatever the case may be? And that's cool too. But you have to decide what's going to make you happy. Make a movie, Make a movie, or use it for your theater work, or, show people your artwork if you're a painter. use this for something. Get your own website. Forget about Instagram and Facebook and all the bullshit social media crap. Get your own website and then get out there to your community. But use this. YouTube is a free space for video. And just because you're not monetized, just because you're not getting, 25.3 million subscribers with a big plaque and all this kind of bullshit, it doesn't mean that you don't have a great opportunity to grow your art. I almost said brand. I don't give a fuck about branding. And so, yeah. I started with a really negative video, and I think I ended it pretty positive. And that's always a better way to go. So let me move the camera one more time and talk about this t-shirt real quick, because some people who know me might be surprised at this. So let me get another shot. Use this as an opportunity to continue to grow, because you're looking in the mirror, you're making videos, and then you get to look at it and look at yourself. And if you're being really honest, you could say, damn, I'm just doing the same thing over and over again. I'm not changing, I'm not growing. So anyway, and by the way, this is the worst possible conditions to shoot video in. Like, it's mad sunny, the sun is directly over my head. There's actually a tree right here, so that's helping a little bit. But anyway, this t-shirt, I created it. This is actually my handwriting, and it says, "Love just is." And that was a line from my play called Brooklyn Quartet, which you can actually watch. There are links in the description if you scroll all the way down. We turned it into a little mini-series. But I thought, this was like one of the most profound things that I ever wrote, in my opinion, which is kind of narcissistic and pompous, but that's how I felt, like love just is, because I've always felt like love is something that you can't describe, that you can't really put words to. It's just something that you feel in your body, that you just know. And, you can't, it is impossible to describe, It's like trying to describe what chocolate tastes like to you. Like, you can't really do that. And these birds, well, here's BQ, Brooklyn Quartet. And the birds are because there's a lot of birds in the film, Brooklyn Quartet. So anyway, I made these t-shirts when I was doing the play. Because actually there's a poem, and I'll do it at the end of this. Okay, how about that? Because then it'll make sense to you. But I made these t-shirts while I was doing a run at Pregonis Theater in the Bronx, which is a beautiful theater space. It's kind of like the Public Theater of the Bronx. And if you've heard of the Public Theater, it's like the Mark Taper Forum in Los Angeles, or Steppenwolf in Chicago, or it's a beautiful theater space, Lincoln Center, but not quite as big as Lincoln Center, but for the Bronx, it's the Bronx's Lincoln Center. So anyway, I did a run there. I'm absolutely in love with the people that run Pregonis and blah, blah. So I made these t-shirts, and I promised people that I would only make one run of these t-shirts because I wanted it to be special for people. So I made, 30 of each, like size, extra small, small, medium, large, XL, double XL. I think I made a quadruple XL because there was one guy in particular who wanted the t-shirt, and he weighs about 450 pounds. So I made one just for him. I think I made like a triple extra small for this woman who asked me for one because she's tiny and she likes to practically walk around naked. So she wanted a small one, and it really, the t-shirt did really well. I sold all of them. People were styling them themselves, which was kind of cool. So it was pretty amazing. But over the years, when I wear the t-shirt, people ask me about it all the time, And so I spoke to a couple of people who have the t-shirt, and I said, would it bother you if I made these t-shirts again? And they just laughed. Like, they didn't even remember that I said that. Like, that's the thing about a lot of stuff we do in the world. Nobody cares. You know what I mean? So in the spirit of being a hypocrite, because all human beings are hypocrites sometimes, I am going to make another run of these t-shirts. So if you want one, let me know. But I don't know how many I'm going to make yet. But if you're interested, let me know, and that'll give me a good idea of how many I should make. And but yeah, I'm going to make more of these t-shirts, and they're really cool. I think they're unique, and all of that. Oh, and the poem came in as, at one point there's a character named Queen, and there are other characters named Saint, Jamal, and Esther, and they're best friends, and they grow up together, and we see the world destroy their friendship over 20 years, and a tragedy happens at the end. But it's really a love story, even though it's a story based on the Sean Bell shooting of 2006, and you could Google that if you're interested. It happened in New York City, November 25th, 2006. And anyway, it's a love story. I say all that to say it's a love story. And at one point, Queen, and it takes place in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, and Queen says, yo, love? Love is like the way those pigeons look over on Kent Avenue down by Myrtle, where that dude who raised them lets them fly every night around dusk. You know what I'm saying? Like around 6:30 at night. And you see them up in the sky, and they look like when the sun shines, like waves in Coney Island and flow and sparkling reflection and light off those perfectly synchronized floating, flapping angels and singing like heaven and dreams, shimmering and dancing like hope and faith and belief and trust. I mean, that's what love is, yo. You can't explain it, it just is. Love just is, yo. And so that was in the play. You know, I wasn't in character right now, and I'm not in the middle of the play, and so I didn't really perform it so well, but you get the idea. So that's where it came from. Don't worry about earning a living doing this, you know. And if that's your only goal, then learn SEO, learn, you know, titles, learn thumbnails, learn tags, learn all of that shit. You know, like really do the deep dive, because I have to be honest, I feel like I've learned that, but I have not done the deepest of deepest dives into that, obviously. But I don't feel like there's much more to learn than I know. And I'm a good example. You know, my YouTube channel is growing, but it's only started to grow recently when I just started to be like this, you know. One of my biggest videos was just this, no B-roll, no nothing, just me talking into the camera, just like this video. I feel like if somebody showed me the magic, like I get emails all the time saying, we would love to take your channel and blow it up, pay us $5,000. I ain't doing that. I'm not doing that, because they're probably people who know how to game the system. And I'm not interested in doing that. Or maybe they know stuff I don't know. I'm sure there's plenty of stuff that I don't know. But I guess my point is I'm not interested enough in that, because I'm more interested in my next movie, or if I want to do another play. That's what I'm interested in. And I'm interested in learning and growing and being better and constantly evolving. That's what I'm interested in. And so, yeah, thanks for watching this video. It's all over the place, but I think when I put it all together, I think you're looking at a really cohesive video, the most human video, because this is the way people think, I believe, almost all the time. So, yeah, all right, I'll see you on the next one. So I wish you luck if you want to be monetized. Wish me luck. I totally want to be monetized. I have no idea how it works. I think it's all an illusion. I think it's all bullshit. But I'm still here because I'm using it for what I want to use it for. But I'm also doing everything that I can possibly do to try to get monetized. I am doing that. But I'm not playing by all the rules. But everybody tells you different rules anyway. It's too long, it's too short, it's too this, it's too that. Like, come on. You know, it's got to be 4K. It doesn't matter what it is. Use your phone, you know, from 1991 or whatever. Like, everybody's telling you different shit. So get hip to that. There's no rules, there's no regulations. It's just like anything else. It's desire, determination, dedication, commitment, all of that. All the hard work. You have to decide what you want to do. And no matter what you plan on doing, you should be working hard at learning your craft every single day. And good things will happen. I don't know what they're going to look like. I don't know how it's going to manifest itself. But I guarantee you, if you work hard at stuff, great things will happen. You might become the best possible artist that you could become. You might get rich off of YouTube. I don't know how it's going to happen. I just know that you're going to get better. And I pretty much guarantee you, you're going to feel good about it. Just make sure you continue to earn a living, stay indoors, eat, take care of your family, stay healthy, all that stuff. And just do the best you can. And don't get frustrated about this stuff. You know, we all get frustrated from time to time. But, you know, when I saw Gerald Undone with that video the other day, I was like, really, you frustrated? Come on, man. What are you frustrated about?